IRS tax code is over 75,000 pages long. If you tried reading it, it would take you over 1,500 hours. That's over 2 months non-stop. The normal person, we ain't got time for that. So here's a breakdown of some of the key elements you should know about your taxes. What's going on, everyone? My name is Ash, bringing you the knowledge, perspective, and experience from my world to help you live a better financial life. Today's segment is on taxes. Taxes are a very scary and ambiguous thing for a lot of folks. But with anything in life, knowledge is the best remedy for fear. So today, I'm going to shed some light on how tax brackets work. And I promise it's not voodoo math, it's actually pretty straightforward. So first and foremost, the biggest thing to know about our tax system is that it's progressive, meaning that no matter how much you and I make, theoretically, we're all taxed the same rate. And bear with me for a sec. If someone is in the 24% bracket, that doesn't mean that their entire income is taxed at 24%. That's a huge misconception. Being in a particular bracket means that your last earned dollar is being taxed at that bracket percentage, not the entire amount. Before I break this down, here's a snapshot of the 7 federal tax brackets. As you can see from the left-hand side column, the tax brackets range from 10% up to 37%. And on the right side, you have the bracket range, which basically means that any dollar that you make that falls within this bracket, that's the rate that it will be taxed at. So basically, each bracket that you go up, there's a different amount of money being taxed at a different rate. Let's look and see how the progressive nature of tax brackets work. Let's say Johnny, who is a single filer, has a taxable income of $150,000. From that taxable amount, you can see that he will fall into the 24% bracket. But knowing that our tax bracket is progressive, we know that the entire amount is not taxed 24%. So what we're gonna do is go step by step and calculate how much he owes in each bracket. And this is pretty much the same calculation that TurboTax and H&R Block and all these other tax preparers use. They just use pretty fancy software that does it almost instantly. So let's break it down. We already know that Johnny's taxable income is $150,000. So when it comes to the first bracket, we can see that any income up to $98.75 is being taxed at 10%. When we do that math, we can see that his tax liability for that first bracket is going to be $987.50. Pretty simple, right? For the next bracket, any dollar over $98.75 up to $41.25 is taxed at 12%. And when we do that math, it comes out to $36.29.88. And remember, we're not including the first $98.75 because that was already taxed at 10%. So basically, we'll continue this process until we reach his taxable income of $150,000. The next bracket, any dollar over $41.25 up to $85.525 is taxed at 22%. Doing so gives us almost $10,000 of tax liability for that bracket. And lastly, the bracket that Johnny falls into, anything over $85,525 up to his taxable income of $150,000 is going to be taxed at 24%. And we're stopping at $150,000, not the $163,300 listed there, because $150,000 is what Johnny made. And we don't want to pay more taxes than we should. So his tax liability is going to stop there. When we do the math for that bracket, it gives us over $15,000 of tax liability. Finally, when we tally all of these up, we can get the actual amount that Johnny owes in federal taxes. See, that wasn't that hard, was it? Another thing to note when doing your taxes is your filing status. Different filing statuses can have different bracket ranges, some that can be more advantageous than others. For example, if you're married filing jointly, those brackets can be a lot more favorable than single file brackets. And I have a theory that the reason why spring is the season of love isn't because the flowers are blooming, it's because all those single folks who filed their taxes saw how much they could have saved if they were married filing joint. I hope this general overview gave you a better idea of how tax brackets work. If it did, please be sure to hit that like button and also share with those that you think might find this information useful. I'm bringing weekly videos on personal wealth management and market insights, so chime into the comments on topics that you would like to see in a future episode. I appreciate you all typing in. My name is Ash. I'll catch you guys next time.